So, you finally have the capital freighter you want. The next question is, how do you upgrade it? In this video, I will show you how. Let's take a look at my freighter for reference. First and foremost, you cannot upgrade the class of your freighter at this time in No Man's Sky. Nope, just can't do it. However, you can upgrade the number of cargo and technology inventory slots in your freighter. As well, you can add two different types of technologies to your freighter. So, let's look at this another way. 1. Use cargo bulkheads to expand your technology and cargo slots. You can do this at your freighter's upgrade control panel by clicking on the Add Storage option, the first one. If you have cargo bulkheads, you can choose to either expand your technology or cargo slots, one for one. As you can see here, I unlocked a Supercharged Technology Slot. They are the purple ones, and usually you can have up to one per class of your freighter. 2. You can add techs at the upgrade station on your bridge of your freighter. These techs are purchased with Salvage Frigate modules. Almost all of them increase your hyperdrive jump range. Some allow you to get to different colored stars like red stellar bodies, blue stellar bodies, green stellar bodies. You need these drives to get to those types of systems, so you need these technologies. Salvage frigate data can be found on frigate fleet missions as well as on crashed freighters. 3. You can add frigate-based technologies as well to enhance your frigate fleet mission efficiency. These technologies are salvaged from Derelict Freighter Missions, and they will always bear the name of the ship from which they were salvaged. Oftentimes they'll give you things like expedition efficiency, or scientific ability, or combat ability, or defense ability. Fortunately, both freighter bulkheads and frigate techs can be found at the same destination. Derelict Freighter Missions. We launch our search in Chaforn New Tech, a dissonant pirate star system near the core of the Isentam galaxy. When ready, you climb into your starship and head out into space. Go into your inventory and use the emergency signal scanner and then fire up your pulse drive. It shouldn't take too long before you receive the response,
"Emergency signal detected. Exit pulse to intercept."
And you should roll up on an abandoned system freighter. I noticed the message saying,
"Warning, game not saved aboard derelicts."
so I leave my starship and head inside. Once you open the outer door, you immediately notice that your movement is very limited. You move slowly and your jump pack doesn't work inside, so moving through a freighter is going to be tedious. There is a security terminal just outside the main airlock which you need to activate in order to open this sealed airlock. Your emergency signal scanner is the key to cracking open each derelict freighter. Sometimes derelict freighters still have functional defense turrets, which are triggered by movement within their proximity scanners. Each derelict freighter mission is broken down into about 10 zones. You need to get through the zones to find the engineering terminal, which is where you get freighter bulkheads and technologies for your freighter. There is a small graphic in the lower right hand corner of the screen which tracks your progress through the freighter. Salvage is king in these missions, so you want to check in every container you find. You can use your multi-tools scanner to reveal storage containers, data pads, and terminals. As you can see, containers are highlighted in pink for the duration of the scan. And notice ones with items inside have small icons on them. Empty ones do not have the telltale icon, so it's very helpful when looking for salvage to use your scanner. Again, there are several defense turrets inside derelict freighters. They don't do an incredible amount of damage, so if you take your time, they shouldn't be too difficult to destroy. You may need to reload your weapon a couple of times while ducking behind cover, and you should always keep an eye on your shield, which I am not doing here. Oh boy. It is completely random as to what you can find, like rare treasure items, unnerving worms, nanites, tainted metal, and more. It's important to check all the data packs as you need one in particular in order to complete the mission. When I find that one, I will show it to you. Again, I keep using my scanner, searching every storage container I come across. In most derelict freighter missions that I have run, I have often found habitation zones like this one, which is a short hall leading to a single small stateroom. Usually there are a couple of heaters along the way and a few storage chests in and around the room. After a quick pillaging, I return to the previous room and find another route towards engineering. And there it is. Some freighters have become the home to some very annoying pests. Space bugs. These bugs seem to hang out in large pulsating alien bug sacks. When I come across these nests, I use caution and heavy explosives because it's just more fun to blow stuff up. So I lay down a barrage of explosives which bounce all around. Sometimes these little guys manage to elude the carpet bombing, so I use smaller weapons to blast these annoying little alien bug things. So, trying to anticipate the rebounds and deflections can be tricky, and sometimes I trash myself in close quarters. So I pull back to a safe spot and heal up before continuing on. Alright, so I made it into Zone 3, Primary Crew Quarters. You notice that terminal over there, so I'm going to go roll on up to that now that I know the room is secure. You turn on the teleporter, and then you hit the records terminal.
Records terminal accessed. Searching.
Commanding Officer, Crew Status Report. Supernumeraries, whatever that is. Scanning ship for biological traces. I assume it's looking for its own crew. I bet you it's not going to find them, so we leave. But what you do get out of this is the crew manifest, and this is something that you need for later, or you can at least sell for later and get tainted metal for it, or reputation at the different vendor at the starbase, which I will show you later in the video. We loot the room, and living quarters are definitely the best for the most opportunities to find loot. Look at all these containers here, it's fantastic, lots of them. And use your scanner, as I said before, to see which containers still have loot in them or don't. You can see the little icons on the ones that do. And salvage is king, so search everything. I find the game noise extra creepy when it's sped up like this. It's very excellent. So here is the aforementioned critical data pad, which has security credentials upon it. You need those security credentials to unlock a terminal later on in your quest. So now with the crew manifest secured, it is time to move on. And it looks like we're moving into combat, so here we go again. So I take the fun approach of trying to blast the living snot out of everything first with big explosives. The plasma launcher definitely satiates that need as I enter into Zone 4, the main cargo bay. Hopefully things are clear here. It looks like they probably are. Just going to check in, see what we got over here. Notice that thumping sound in the red on the screen? Oh boy. When you get really close to those things, they swell up and they pop if you stay there. So I pull back and I decide it's time to blast it again.
With some plasma grenades.
Alright, so it seems like we might be clear. So I'm going to go ahead and enter into the room and take a quick look around. But I really want to get to that teleporter and terminal right there. But let's see. Oh, darn it. Alright, it's still there. Hopefully I can just blast them all as soon as they're hatched and they come out of that thing so that there's nothing left. And it looks like we are clear. Alright, so you always activate the teleporters because when you're coming out, you can opt to go to each deck or straight out to your ship. So here at the secure mainframe is where you're going to be using your security credentials to log in to it. And inside of the mainframe, it gives you a sense of this ship is doomed. And something or another happened to the captain and the crew. But what you get from it is the captain's log, which is another item you can sell for either tainted metal or reputation at a starbase after this mission is over. So now we roll into Zone 5, another habitation unit. I nose around a little bit and then I move on my way. So after a bit of a run, we come into our Zone 6, our secondary cargo bay. Now, you ever have one of those moments when you just know you're about to do something stupid? Yeah.
Everybody knows Bumbles bounce.
Now, not to worry except for hurt pride, but then you can respawn at your ship, and you can go right back in and find your grave. And everything that was in your inventory will be put back into your inventory, and you don't have to re-fight your way down to where you died. We've made it to Zone 7. It's a living area. Lots of tantalizing crates to loot. Now, sometimes you're going to find these hatches between the decks on a freighter. There we go, rolling into another section. We're at Zone 8, Secondary Cargo Hold. Probably not as much stuff as living quarters, but worth checking out. Then we move on, now heading into the Engineering Core, Zone 10. This is the target objective of this whole thing. Notably, we did not see Zone 9, which I'm assuming is a room that I actually missed, probably branching off of the Engineering Core area. But this is what we came to see, so let's check it out. First we turn on the teleporter, then we log into the terminal that is here. The first option on this list is to fabricate a technology upgrade. This is a technology built around your frigates. When you get a tech, it is a salvaged piece of technology from the freighter. This one from the Invincible Okazu gives me +5 scientific ability to my expeditions. You can also choose to fabricate a cargo bulkhead. This is what gives you the additional storage slots in your technology and cargo slots on your freighter. And if for some insane reason you want to do the extract nanites option, just know that you're only going to get a few hundred. It is really not worth it. So I chose the technology and I got the Salvage Fleet Exploration Unit, so it somehow enhances exploration ships. We'll have to see when we unlock it on our freighter. So the beautiful thing about the teleporters is that when you jump into the one in engineering, it returns you right up to the flight deck, so you can go right to your ship. So I fly back to my freighter, land on board, and head to the bridge to check out my new technology. So all you have to do is click and hold on the tech in your inventory, and it'll pop you right over to whichever vehicle it's installed on. And this one here is a freighter tech, and so we're going to go ahead and install it. And it turns out to be Salvage from the Invincible Okazu, which grants +5 scientific ability to my Frigate Fleet Missions. There are a few more things to know about Freighter Technologies. The first thing is tech grouping. Notice the tan outlines around all the Frigate Fleet Technologies. Notice the blue outlines around all the Freighter Technologies. Similar technologies increase efficiency when placed adjacent to each other. The next thing is Supercharged Slots. Each class of freighter has one supercharged tech slot once the tech slots are all unlocked. So far I have 3 of them unlocked. Notice the S-Class tech adds +44 expedition speed when supercharged, compared to +15 normally. Even a C-Class tech goes from +3% to +28% when placed on a supercharged slot. Impressive. So let's try a different configuration this time. Let's switch all of the hyperdrive techs over to the supercharged slots and see what we can do, starting at 2811. We'll go ahead and switch everything over. We get it up to 3260.3. However, there's another thing that we could try. I'm going to take the engine off of the supercharger and just have its 3 techs on the supercharge and have the engine not on a supercharged. See if we can go a little higher with that. And it turns out that we can with 3374.8 for my hyperdrive range. Now that we have that all sorted out, it's time to head over to the space station where I can sell my captain's log and crew manifest to some of the vendors at the space station. However, on my way to said space station, I found this anomaly. It is a Dyson lens. Couldn't talk to it, couldn't do much about it, so once I figured out what it was actually called, I blew it up. Yeah. Then, decided to head over to the space station. So as I said before, you can sell the crew manifest and the captain's log at the scrap dealer at a space station. For him, if you sell it, he will give you tainted metal, which you can use to buy things at his store. You have another option though. One of the vendor entities across the starbase has a interaction mark above his head. And if you go over to him and talk to him, you can donate the captain's log and you will gain +3 standing with whatever race it was that chose to buy that off of you. I personally prefer to deal with the scrap dealer as he has many more options to trade. The first option, acquire coordinates, is another emergency signal locator or scanner. The second option is a dialogue line saying they come across freighters and they sell their location for a price. And then it automatically bounces you back to the main menu where you can purchase old scrap. This is where you can spend the tainted metal to buy suspicious things or decals and decorations like wriggling companion, warning decals, horrific decals, tentacle decals, hazard decals. It's cool. So that's one way to spend them. Although you can also just put the tainted metal into a grinder and get nanites, and a lot of nanites for it as well. So it's plenty useful either way. Those are your options. There you go. Your freighter is your home among the stars. Upgrading its technology and cargo slots is the next natural step with freighters. But there is so much more that we can do with these massive, highly customizable mobile bases. Stay tuned for my next freighter-based video on Frigate Fleet Missions. If you found this video helpful and interesting, you might want to check out my other No Man's Sky how-to videos like how to find S-Class freighters, how to get to new galaxies, and how to find living frigates. Thank you for watching and please like and subscribe. Have a great night, folks.